prosím jen vteřinu.
Welcome to Prague. Well, almost. We're in the metro. This is episode 2 of a series I'm doing photographing old tram lines across Europe for what I hope will become an interesting coffee table book. Prague would have been the 9th city. The first episode I shot in Sofia, but actually Prague was one of the first 2 cities, Budapest being the second, that initiated the idea for this book. So join me to photograph some of what I find to be the sexiest trams around.
Jak s tebou do povlaku ulehne pláč na jiné řešení, na novou naději, prstenu zkamejí, budeš se ptát.
Morning. It's early. We're about half an hour from sunrise, and I'm just walking down the Rodney Avenue, which is leading me, it's right in front of me at this point, to the National Theatre. And I'm not sure what my first shot is going to be. I wanted to come walk this way and then onto the Frank Gehry designed dancing house, which is a shot I already have, but not at Blue Hour. I haven't decided yet, so we're going to walk to that corner of the National Theatre. I think there might be an interesting landscape composition on the bridge, and if I don't see it, then we'll keep walking onwards to Dancing House, and I'll know I'll see a shot there because I've already taken it. So let's see what it gives. Alright. Wasted a little bit of time on that, so I had to get the tripod set up here at Dancing House rather quickly, but that's what I've gone for. It's well and truly Blue Hour now, so the waiting game begins. So, this is what I've gone for. Let me take over composition. I'm shooting quite wide. I'm at 14mm on the Fuji, but that's allowing me to keep my vertical straight because obviously I'm not bringing tilt shifts to travel trips. F4 because that's the widest it can go and I need as much light as possible. ISO 640 because I don't want the tram to be completely blurred, although I'm probably going to have to accept a little bit of blur. And then shutter speed, well, that just depends on the available light. But I think there's something here. I've already shot this, but as I said, not for Blue Hour. So this will be a first, and I really hope, we get a nice T3 soonish, because in 10 minutes this lovely blue is going to be all but gone, and it's looking like it's going to be grey today. Alright, I've been fed. It is busy. Everyone's clearly woken up. So I think the idea, I'm not sure what the weather's going to do. It looks like it's between sunshine or clouds. I think I'm going to head over to the other side of the river. It's funny, Prague sort of reminds me of Budapest in that sense that it's separated by the river, and you've got, obviously in Budapest, the Buda and then the Pest side, and they've each got their sort of own character. It's the same here, except they're both Prague. But there's a few shots I want to try and get on the other side, which I really didn't get to explore much the first time I was here. So let's see what I can get. Alright, so I've got my first composition set up. I'm stood on this cobblestone street with trams coming in both directions, and we've got this great big basilica in the background, which I'm compressing into the hopeful tram in the foreground by shooting a little bit on the tighter side. I'm at roughly 50, which is roughly 80 on full frame, and I think this has great potential. Unfortunately, it's mid-afternoon, which means there's still quite a bit of traffic, both foot and vehicles. And the light isn't always great. It's coming in and out of the clouds, so it can either be quite harsh or just completely boring. But if we get the right tram, the right light, and not too much traffic, I think this is a recipe for a good shot. So fingers crossed, the stars align. Well, it is well and truly winter. I don't feel like I've been shooting for that long, and sunset is already done. That being said, I've found a really cool spot. I'm just on the other side of the church that we were just shooting. I've got the tripod set up, pointed again in vertical mode at this sort of tunnel that runs through these residential buildings. And I've already snapped a few shots when we had a little bit more colour in the sky. It's starting to get into the blue hour now, and really I'm just waiting for some nice Tatra T3s to come through and snapping away, but I think some of these will definitely make it into the book. Good morning. It's about half an hour to sunrise, and I think I found my sunrise composition, well, blue hour. I'm right in the middle of this intersection, right in the middle being the correct word because I'm quite literally on the markings. We've got trams coming in both directions as always, and I'm looking in vertical mode as always at one of the Gothic towers of Prague, not the Powder Tower. That's roughly 5 minutes that way. The other one, I don't know the name. But I've got this really interesting composition with a sort of S-curve leading to the tower in the back. And it's just so dramatic with that. Well, Gothic tower is the right word. So I'm waiting for the right tram to come. I don't know if there's more of the new generation trams coming in the morning, but right now I've only seen one of the Tatra T3s, which are really the ones I'm aiming at here. So again, just a matter of waiting, and hopefully we get something interesting. Well, it's about 15 minutes too late, but as fate would have it, there was basically nothing but the nearest go to trams for about 15 minutes, and then just now we got 3 in a row in both directions. But that's alright. The public lights have turned off, as they always do. It's a grey day, so I think we can still definitely make something of this. I shot quite underexposed, so the main source of light is actually the tram itself and the headlights glowing off the pavement. So I think that will turn out. Well, it is grey and cold. I'm walking back to the other side of the river. I hope I can find some interesting detail shots, maybe pull out the 35, but if not, I think I'm going to go have a lay down because I've been up at sunrise for the last week, it seems, and the light is just a bit boring, to say the least. So if I do find any interesting compositions, I'll try and bring you along, and if not, I will see you at sunset. Alright, scratch the nap. I was walking back towards the apartment and I'm stopped in front of the National Theatre, which I've already photographed on my first trip here. Except this time I'm not looking at the National Theatre itself, rather I'm on the side of it looking really behind it, and behind it sits this wonderfully brutalist commercial building, most definitely built in the 70s, and I'm waiting for a tram to come and sort of split the side of the National Theatre, which is, you know, very classical architecture, and the much more modern brutalist building behind it. So I think there's something here. Alright, that was 3 days in Prague. Thanks for tagging along if you've made it this far. I apologise if the video's been a little bit hectic. Obviously I've already seen Prague, and the reason I'm here again is not specifically for photography. In fact, I've made it a point of not returning to the same location twice for this photography project. So I was here for a concert and I thought I might as well do a little bit of photography whilst I'm here. I do hope you've enjoyed that photography. I will put all of the images from this specific trip at the end of the video. I will also link to the first episode that I shot in Sofia, and if you want to see all of the images from the trips I've done so far, so 8 cities in total, that will be on my website, which I will link to in the description. Until then, I've got roughly 150 images that I need to edit for work before I can even start to think about these images from Prague. So I will leave you there, and I don't have a sign off still.
Prosím jen vteřinu, popřej mi slyšení, pro zbytek kopretiny, zkus ještě stát přes hlavu peřinu, to není řešení, popřej mi slyšení.